Dang, that is some nasty conditions right there. What is happening, y'all? So, recently, Christy and I have been absolutely slaying the trout on the Mirrolure and the redfish, actually. These conditions right here are pretty nasty, super cold. It's like probably 40 degrees outside right now, crazy north wind. Not doing any fishing today. However, we've absolutely been slaying the fish on some Mirrolures, and we've been getting a lot of requests from y'all about how to fish a Mirrolure and just everything about Mirrolures. So in this video, we're gonna do just that. We're gonna show you guys everything you need to know about Mirrolures, how to fish them. We're gonna show you guys us catching some fish on them, and by the end of this video, you guys are gonna know everything you need to know about Mirrolures and how to catch fish with them. So right here, this is the Mirrolure double XL. And catching these fatsos.
Okay, there we go, on the double XL. Yes, on the double XL. Thank you, that's what's done. There it is, you guys. Double XL, getting it done, getting on these bigger fish. Woo!
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Alright, you guys, on the Mirrolure, on the mirrodine. There we go. Got ourselves a nice slot redfish.
Alright, you guys, there's 4 main Mirrolures that Jeff and I wanted to show you guys. They're kind of the most popular, most effective, at least in my opinion, but they are the most popular. So the first one you guys have, the mirrodine. This is the one of the Mirrolure styles that they have. There's 3 different sizes. You've got your the regular, the original. You've got the XL, which is a little bit bigger of a profile, and then the double XL, which is the big mamma jamma. So these all have really slender bodies, and they all tie in the front. So when you guys are using these, the action you guys are going to get through the water is going to kind of be more of a fluttering motion, and these are all suspended twitch baits. So that means when you guys have a pause in the water and you're not jerking it, that bait is going to be very slow sinking and almost pause in the water, and that's usually when you guys are going to get the most strikes, the most hits from those speckled trout. When you guys are working these through the water, which Jeff will show you guys in a minute, it's going to be a jerk jerk and a pause. You guys can switch up the cadence, but around now, these fish are voracious feeders. These speckled trout, they're feeding up, they're getting fat for the winter. All right, so this one is the 52 MR. It's got a thinner profile with a 3 treble hooks. A lot of anglers tend to take off this middle treble hook. They feel like it's not really needed. The difference between this one and the first one was that it's gonna have, you guys are gonna be tying your knot on the head. These are really great for slow trolling. The action you guys are gonna be getting with these 52 MRs, how it's gonna look through the water is its nose is gonna be down a little bit, but it's gonna kind of come up a little bit and go side to side. So just a more slender of a profile, swims different, and is really great if you guys are just looking at cast behind the boat and have them trolling behind you. All right, the next one is gonna be your top dog. You guys love some topwater action. There's nothing like getting on some speckled trout during low light conditions, dawn or dusk. This guy is gonna get it done every time. You guys can walk the dog. They come in a ton of different colors. I like really bright colors, but it really depends on what you guys prefer to fish with. This one's just got 2 different treble hooks, and then it's gonna be hooked on the front. So just your top water right there. All right, and then the last one I want to talk to you guys about that's also really popular. This one is called Catch 2000, and this one is a really great blend between the 52 MR and the mirrodine. It's got your 2 treble hooks. It's hooked on the front.
That's it, you guys. Boom. Christy just broke it down for y'all. And actually, I'm going to show you guys real quick how to fish these Mirrolures. You know, Mirrolure, they make tons of different models. They also make tons of different colors, which makes it really cool, and it's a very versatile hard plastic. Again, we are not trying to sell you guys on these baits at all. We just like to help you guys catch more fish. And in the fall, especially when these trout and redfish are chasing these schools of bait fish, these Mirrolures are deadly. I'm not saying that these Mirrolures only fish in the fall, but in the fall, Mirrolure, late fall is also the name of the game. Wintertime, also super effective because a lot of these baits will suspend right in the strike zone. So these trout and redfish, they're gonna be a little bit more lethargic as the water temperature cools down. So you guys, Mirrolure is a great option. You guys definitely have to have it in your tackle box.
Y'all, today was such a success getting out here and locating these fish. We we mainly use these double X and the double XL. We got on some really thick stud trout, just using these kind of bigger profile baits. I was a little worried at first, but honestly, even the small trout are gonna hit these big profile. It just might help you weed through some of the small fish, or some of the schools of smaller fish.
All right, you guys, so real quick, I'm gonna show you guys how to fish these Mirrolures, because I do get a lot of questions and comments, and just and also when I see you guys out around town, you guys ask me a lot about like how to fish a Mirrolure. So Christy's holding the camera. I'm gonna show you guys real quick how I like to fish these. So I'm gonna show you guys two different examples. This is the Mirrodine XL, and this color right here, for whatever reason, was just getting the job done. I really like this red back, and also another color that's been deadly recently has been the one that has like the pink back to it. It wasn't available at Ocean's East in our tackle shop, but this red back one was insane. This thing was deadly today. So anyways, you guys, all right. Okay, so let me show y'all real quick the cadence and just how I like to fish this. I did talk a little bit about this in the video with me fishing it on the GoPro, but just to show you guys, Christy's filming on the big camera. So you want this bait to really sink down. A lot of times I'm getting hit when I'm like adjusting the trolling motor, or I'm talking to Christy, Christy's talking to me, whatever. That's when a fish is gonna hit. Because you want this bait to really, it is suspending, but it also does slow sink a little bit. So, and what you're gonna do is you're just going to give it jerks of the rod like this. So it's just small twitches. That's really all we're going for. All we're going for is this action in the water column of that bait kind of giving that flutter. And that's what's gonna turn those trout on, because they're gonna see that flutter. Just like a spoon or any of your metal baits as well, like you're fishing for Spanish mackerel and king mackerel, you know, it's that flutter that really turns those fish on. So that's the action that these Mirrodines, and that's why they're so deadly, is the way that they shimmer and they flutter, you know, when you twitch your rod. So when you twitch your rod, similar to largemouth bass fishing, when you're fishing a jerk bait, you wanna twitch your rod on a slack line, which sounds counterintuitive, because a lot of times when we're talking about how to fish and to feel the bite, you want to have tension in your line always. When you're fishing a jig, you want to have tension in your line. You actually want to eliminate slack. However, for these lures, you want just a little bit of slack, and it's very hard it's kind of hard for me to show you guys what I'm talking about right now. You don't want this crazy long bow in your line, but you do want just a little bit of slack when you twitch this bait, because with a little bit of slack, it's gonna give it that real shimmer to it. If you don't have slack to it, it's almost gonna be like it's just pulling in the water, or you're just really gonna be like pulling that Mirrolure through the water column. So with just a little bit of slack, so with just a little bit of slack, at the rod tip, that's going to help it, you know, give that kind of shimmering action into the water column. So the cadence that I like to fish is, let me just show you guys real quick again. Okay, so the cadence that I like to use is, I'll go ahead and just cast it on out, let it hit. So once it hits the water, I'm going to just reel down a little bit of that slack, and I'm gonna give it probably a solid like 5-6 seconds, and then I'm gonna give it that first twitch. Sometimes after I cast it out in the first like 2 or 3 seconds, I might give it just a little like twitch just to give it a quick little shimmer, because a lot of times you will get hit, you know, on the drop. There's one. That's a good one. Fish on. So I like to, you know, again, first probably about 3 seconds, I give it that quick little twitch, and then after that, I'm gonna give it a solid like 5 seconds for it to just sit there in the strike zone. And then I'm just gonna twitch, and then I'm gonna give it about another 2 or 3 seconds in between each twitch. So I'll just show you guys how I fish it. Twitch, pause, twitch, pause, twitch, pause, twitch, pause. And then sometimes you can go like twitch, pause, twitch, pause. So vary your cadence, but you definitely want a good pause in between there. And when I mean a good pause, probably about 3 to 4 seconds is what you want. So that right there is how you retrieve your Mirrolure. Sorry, we're in Virginia Beach right now, and there's fighter jets flying over us. That's the sound of freedom. But hopefully you guys can hear me okay. But yeah, so I like to keep my rod tip pointed down, you know, just because that's gonna keep that bait a little bit lower, and just keep it in the strike zone. I'm not really gonna be twitching my rod up. I'm gonna be twitching it down, just like this. So when you get bit, literally all you wanna do is you just want to reel down. You do not need a crazy hook set, especially with these speckled trout, and they have what they call those paper mouths, which are just, you know, they have very thin skin around their mouth. These treble hooks are, you know, sometimes they're gonna rip it out. So you just want, that's why you want like this faster tip, you know, rod. It's got a lot more sensitivity in it, you know, on the tip. So that's really how you fish it, you guys. You know, you just want to make sure that you give it that time, that pause in between. And then kind of that like pro tip is that you want to have a little bit of slack in your line when you give it that twitch. Because these speckled trout, when they hit it, they're gonna destroy it. Like, you know, there's no second guessing when you have a fish on. It's not like you need to set the hook or anything. The trout's just gonna destroy it, and you just wanna reel down on that fish and keep the line nice and tight. You do not wanna jerk the fish. You don't wanna like do all these crazy motions with your rod tip or everything. You wanna just really keep your rod tip pointed down, both when you're working the lure and when you hook your fish. Unless when you get your fish right to the boat or when you're fishing from shore and then you want to like control your fish up into the net, then that's kind of the overall technique that I use right there. But you know, you do want to keep your rod tip pointed down because that's going to keep like the fish in the water. A lot of times that's when you're going to lose the fish, is when that fish is head shaking out of the water, and the fish can obviously head shake a lot faster and just more aggressive head shakes when it's in the air and not in the water. So keep your rod tip pointed down and make sure that you have those pauses in between your cadence and between your twitches. You guys will definitely catch yourself some big old speckled trout. But that's how you fish these Mirrolures. And yeah, Christy and I, we highly recommend that y'all definitely add these to your tackle box if you haven't. And if you have, we highly recommend that you guys tie one on and just get confident in it, and just come out on your boat or, you know, go out fishing and only have a Mirrolure tied on. That's the only way that you're gonna get confident in these lures and in these baits, is when you force yourself to fish it. So I guarantee you that you guys, that you will get more confident in it, and it's gonna add more big gator trout to your catches. So anyways, you guys, that's it. That's how to fish a Mirrolure. Thank you all for watching. If you guys haven't, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us out so we can help y'all catch more fish.
That's right, you guys. All right, thanks for joining us on One Fish, Two Fish TV, and see you guys next time.
Peace out.